Hey, what's going on, guys? Anthropix here. So today I'm going to be doing a video where I'm going to see which states trend in which direction to either the Democrat nominee or to President Trump in 2020. Now, when I say trend, that doesn't mean I think, say, the candidate's going to win them. Say I can say a Democrat state will trend to President Trump. That doesn't mean President Trump will win it. It just means he'll do better. So this is going to be the scale. Safe is going to be 10 points or more. Likely it's going to be between 10 points and 5 points. Lean is going to be between 1 point and 5, and tilt is going to be between 0 and 1. So if it's tilt, that means I think it's going to very narrowly shift to the other side. So I'll go from the west and work my way east. So California, I think it's probably going to tilt to the Democrats. Actually, I think California will tilt to the Republicans by about 1 or 2 points. So, as I mentioned, that just means it's going to go more Republican than it did in 2016 and 2020 by about 1 or 2 points. Nothing too crazy. It's kind of weird seeing California being red. Um, yeah. Oregon, I'm going to put in the lean. No, actually. I think it's going to go in the likely column. I think Oregon is going to trend by more than 5 points. I think the Democrat will probably win about 50 to 40, maybe 42%. I think that's about right. Washington will trend Republican by about say about 3 or 4 points. Nevada, I think Nevada will very narrowly trend to the Democrats by about 1 point. Republicans really have hit their max for the voters in Nevada without leaning to more independents, especially suburban women, and they're not doing a good job of winning that voter group. So Democrats are really going to pick up some stride in Nevada. I think the Arizona, it'll go 3 points in the Democrats' favor. I still think Republicans will narrowly hold on in the state of Arizona, but I think it will trend to the Democratic side. Alaska, I think it's going to trend. I think it's going to be very close. So I think Alaska's going to trend maybe 1 or 2 points to the Republicans. Hawaii, I think, is also going to trend 1 or 2 points to the Republicans. I don't really think they can find more Democratic voters in the state of Hawaii. Utah, I think Utah is going to trend about, I'm going to say 2 or 3 points to the Democrats as well. I think Republicans are going to hit their max there. President Trump will get some voters back, but I feel like there's going to be some opposition to him, especially from Republicans like Mitt Romney, who are like not so inclined to vote for Trump. I feel like there may be a lot more voters like that in Utah than, say, in West Virginia or something like that. Idaho, Idaho's pretty conservative. I'd say it'd probably tilt to the Democrats by about like 1 point maybe. Montana, I think Montana's actually going to tilt more to the Republican side because I think since there's going to be a contested Senate race, if Steve Bullock, who is currently running for president, if he does decide to suspend his campaign and jump back in, I think that could happen, and that race would definitely be very contested. So I could see that happening. Wyoming, I think it's going to go, well, exactly 5 points more to the right than it has before. So I could see that happening. Colorado, President Trump didn't campaign too much in Colorado last time, so I'm kind of inclined to give it more to him. That being said, I think it's going to go a little more, it's going to go a point or two Democrat more this time because now there's a lot more anti illegal immigration sentiment in Colorado, and that doesn't bode too well for President Trump there. The state of New Mexico, I think it'll go 1 to 2 points for President Trump in his direction. I can see that happening. Texas, I think it will lean. I think it'll give about 3 to 4 points for the Democrats. I think the Republicans will still win it, but it'll be the first time within like 10 points margin. I think it'll probably be like Trump will probably win by 6 or 7 points in Texas, I'd say. Oklahoma, I think Oklahoma will probably go Republicans by another point or two. I don't really see that state changing too much. Kansas, I think will lean to the Democrats by about 5 points. I think, especially if Chris Kobach is the Senate nominee for the Republicans, that alone I think will hinder some of President Trump's margins. I think Chris Kobach would still win that Senate race, just to be clear, but I think they'll probably lower the margins in Kansas. So now it's in Nebraska. I'd say Nebraska is probably going to be about the same. if not maybe a point in the favor of the Republicans. I don't really think that's going to change too much. South Dakota and North Dakota, I think it would both probably go towards Trump, maybe a point. A lot of these very Republican rural states probably aren't going to change that much. Kansas and Texas, well, not really Texas, but Kansas is kind of the exception to that. But it's more the Democrat states that both. Here's the thing: both states are becoming very polarized. Where Republicans are getting redder, Democrat states are getting bluer, and a lot of the swing states, unless Trump changes his rhetoric with suburban voters, are starting to get bluer too. So it's kind of hard to say which way you think it's gonna go, but it's kind of like just playing it based off what we know so far. Minnesota, I think it's gonna go 1 to 2 points towards Trump's direction. I think Minnesota will not. I don't think Trump will win Minnesota yet, or Republicans will win Minnesota yet. But I think Trump will get very, very close. He'll win it, or he'll lose it by less than 1%, or win it by less than 1%, I think, this time. There's a lot of third party votes in Minnesota, so it's going to be close, but I think President Trump does have the potential to maybe pull an upset there. Iowa, I think the Democrats will pick up exactly 3 points in Iowa. I think it's going to trend back to the Democrat side, but Republicans are still going to win it. I think President Trump will hold on to Iowa, but it'll still trend back. Missouri, I think it's going to go 1 to 2 points towards the Democrats. I feel like Republicans kind of hit their max voters there, and voting in St. Louis and Kansas City is going to be up higher than before. Arkansas, I'd say a trend 1 to 2 points to the Republican side. Louisiana, I feel like probably 1 to 2 in favor of the Democrats. They're a popular Democratic governor, so I feel like some of the voters may come out and be a little more supportive of the Democrats. Not by much, though. Mississippi, I'm going to say 1 to 2 in favor of the Democrats because if Cindy Hyde-Smith runs for Senate again, I feel like she's not the most popular candidate for the Republican side. She still would win, but she's still not the most popular. So I feel like that would probably help. Alabama, I think it would go 1 to 2 points in favor of the Republicans because I think to flip that Senate seat back, as long as it's not Roy Moore, that state should be able to flip the Senate seat back to the Republican side, and President Trump's going to really try and turn out more Republican voters who didn't vote last time to make sure that seat flips. Georgia, I think it's going to go 1 to 2 points in the Democrat favor. Once again, another state where I think Republicans will still win it, but it's probably going to get closer and closer margins. I don't really see any of the red candidates on the Democratic side that would be able to flip Georgia. I think the perfect candidate to flip Georgia is Stacey Abrams. If she ran for president and won the nomination, actually her and Michelle Obama, because they can really play with that suburban African American voter, the inner city of Atlanta. They can really play that base well. I feel like those may be the best two candidates to potentially win in Georgia. A lot of the Democrats now, I'm sorry if you're a fan of him, but Joe Biden is not. Joe Biden does not have the same appeal that Michelle Obama or Stacey Abrams has, especially in Atlanta. Kamala Harris, probably other candidates running, would have the best chance, but I think she would have the best chance. I don't really see it happening, though. South Carolina, I think actually this one's going to trend to the Democrat side by about 3 to 4 points. I feel like South Carolina is going to be the one Republican state that goes a little closer to the Democratic side than kind of expected, and they're going to be like, oh, really? I didn't know the state was really competitive. So I feel like South Carolina would go that way. It goes out. Florida, I feel like Florida is going to tend to the Republican side. I'm going to say by 1 to 2 points, or tilt. Oh, yeah, tilt, I don't know if I mentioned this. I've been saying 1 to 2. I think tilt's going to be 2 to 0, I think. Because I feel like 0 to 1's too broad, so I feel like 0 to 2 is good, and then 2 to 5 is lean. So 1 to 2 points in Florida, because I feel like incumbents usually do very good in Florida when they run for re-election. So I feel like President Trump's going to pick up a few voters there. Plus, he's actually well approved of in Florida compared to other swing states. So I think that'll be good for him. Tennessee, 1 to 2 points in favor of President Trump. I think he'll do better there. Even very narrowly, I think he'll do better. North Carolina, I think President Trump will do 1 to 2 points better there. While there will be more turnout among Democratic voters in the state of North Carolina, I think President Trump has made some inroads with African American voters, especially with the whole Kanye thing, Kim and Kanye, And freeing ASAP Rocky, who knows if that's going to help him or not. I mean, that'd be really funny if it does, because, like, President Trump goes in, frees ASAP Rocky. Okay, I guess that helped. Um, the state of Virginia, this might be a surprise to some. I think President Trump will get a point or two back in Virginia. What a lot of people forget about 2016 is they showed how Trump got blown out by about 6 percentage points in Virginia. The last 3 months, he didn't campaign there. He didn't put really any effort or any money into the state of Virginia. Now he's the president. People there will know him more. And a lot of Republican voters that in the rural parts and maybe in the suburban parts that didn't vote for him, that like some of his economic policies, may vote for him. Not to mention all those scandals going on in the state house in Virginia and all like the Governor Northam's blackface scandal and all that stuff. I feel like that could still be lingering around the minds of some Virginia voters. I wouldn't expect it to be too many, but still some. So I think that's enough to give President Trump and vote to give a 1 or 2% edge to. The Democrats were still going to win Virginia, though. I'm not really too doubted about that. The state of Kentucky, I think Kentucky will go by about 3 to 4 points to the Democrats' margin. Mitch McConnell's up for re-election this year, and President Trump's both up for re-election this year. Expect the city, Louisville, they're going to turn out in bigger margins against Mitch McConnell, and I think more in favor of the Democrat running against him. I can't think of her name. I think her name's Amy McGrath. I could be wrong. It'd be great if you guys fact check me about that. Because if you did, not only would I know, but then you'll also be leaving a comment and contributing in the video. That's always fun. So yeah, Illinois. I feel like it'll probably go to President Trump by 1 to 2 points more. I think more of the Republican rural areas will turn out in favor of President Trump. Indiana. President Trump will probably win some more. I mean, Mike Pence is the VP. I think that really can't. I think that's probably going to lean more on the Republican side. West Virginia. West Virginia is probably going to go 1 to 2 points more towards Trump's side. He has a very big support and supportive base there. Ohio. Ohio, I think, is probably going to go. I don't know if I'm kind of torn between 2 or 3 points. For now, I'll say 3 points towards the Democrat side. President Trump won it last time. I believe it was something like 51 to 43 or 51 to 45 or something like that. I'm seeing a number President Trump's going to win this time, like 51 to 47. I think the Democrats are going to get less third-party vote and get a lot of those voters back. For instance, if there isn't that prominent of a Green Party candidate, I feel like the Democrats will get a lot of those voters back, so it'll be a little more closer. But the 2018 midterms, I always like to say the midterms don't really define the next presidential election, but in Ohio's case, I think it does. I think Mike DeWine winning the governorship kind of shows Republicans do have a stronger foothold over the state of Ohio than previously thought just a few years ago. So the state of Wisconsin. Wisconsin, I think, is gonna very. I don't know. I'm gonna come back to Wisconsin actually. I'm gonna come back to the Rust Belt because this is gonna be kind of interesting. The state of Maryland, I think President Trump will gain about 1% there. I think he has pretty decent standing compared now that he's been elected. A lot of the Republican voters that didn't vote for him last time were kind of nervous about how he would govern, if he'd be a moderate or if he'd be even more Democrat leaning. But in terms of conservative wise, he's been pretty conservative as a president with conservative policies. Delaware are expected to go 1 point in favor to 2 points in favor. If it's Joe Biden, it could be a lean or likely margin, probably more, but not too sure. D.C. usually always goes to the Democrats. I think President Trump will literally gain 1 point there. Not much, but it might help. New Jersey, this may be a surprise. I think New Jersey will go 1 to 2 points more towards the Republican side, towards President Trump's side. A lot of his economic deals and tearing up NAFTA, that will help, especially in the Rust Belt and New York and such. New York, I think, will also go 1 to 2 points more in favor of President Trump. Actually, I think he'll go 3 to 4 points. I think since he's from there, he'll have more appeal there now. I don't know if you saw a poll that came out, but it said President Trump's more approved of in the city of New York than Bill de Blasio, which kind of says something funny. The Northeast, I think Connecticut and Rhode Island are 2 states I think will go towards President Trump's column by 1 to 2 points. And this is tough because I feel like I know this area, and a lot of young voters voting for the first time this election will go against President Trump. So I think Massachusetts will go 1 to 2 points in the Democrats' favor. especially if it's an Elizabeth Warren, then I think it definitely will go in the Democrats' favor. The state of Vermont, I will think will go in the Republicans' favor by about 1 to 2 points. The state of New Hampshire is tough. Maine at large will go 1 to 2 points in President Trump's favor. And I think I'm just doing the whole state because if I go on actually I'll do the individual districts too. The first district will go slightly more towards the Democrats. Actually no, actually it'll all go towards President Trump by 1 point, and that's probably easier. New Hampshire, it's close because President Trump came very close. He lost by about 0.3% last time. Kelly Ayotte, who ran for Senate, lost by 0.1%. And there's a few the county that has Manchester, the central county, President Trump almost won. If he can get some more votes there and he can win Manchester, there's a very good chance he could win in New Hampshire. I just don't know. President Trump can gain 1 to 2 points in New Hampshire. The Democrats, I still feel like, are going to gain some percentage back in New Hampshire as well, though. So for now, I think President Trump will gain 1 to 2 points in New Hampshire, but I still think it's going to be very, very close. Now for the Rust Belt. Of the 3 Rust Belt states right now, Pennsylvania voted the most for President Trump out of the 3. Right now, I say Michigan goes 1 to 2 points back in the Democrat column. I think the Democrats do win Michigan this time. For most candidates, they will win back Michigan. Pennsylvania, I honestly think President Trump actually gained some support in Pennsylvania, and I think he would gain some support in Wisconsin as well. Wisconsin's more of a surprise because Scott Walker did lose re-election in 2018, but I think both states are very happy of how the economy is doing, and both states are happy President Trump got rid of NAFTA, and that's always a big indicator, usually in the Rust Belt, is how's the economy doing. And that's why you'll see states like Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania trending back towards their more towards Republican sides. Michigan, I feel like, I don't know if Michigan was a one-time thing, or if it trends back, it'll be very, very narrow. But I just feel like Michigan barely happened last time, and that was by 0.3%, and that was against Hillary Clinton. And I know the left is going a lot crazier, but it's hard to find a lot of candidates worse than Hillary Clinton. It would literally have to be Bill de Blasio to have any chance to not be, for the Democrats not to gain more voters in Michigan. So I think Michigan will slightly narrow on the Democrat side. And I think, that pretty much wraps up the map. So if you fast forward to the end of the video, the states in red are the states that I believe are going to trend to President Trump. The maroonish color, the brownish color, that's Trump between 0 to 2 points, or 1 to 2 points. The pinkish color is about 3 to 5 points. The darkish red color is about 5 to 10. And on the Democrat side, the darkish bluish gray color is 1 to 2 points. The light blue color is about 3 to 5. And I never used any of the likely color, but the likely was 5 to 10. Excuse me. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like the video, and I'll see you in the next time. See you in the next one. Oh my god. Yeah. I should totally leave that in the video.